Hare Krishna and welcome to all the devotees. Unfortunately, our new setup here at another venue is a little challenging, but for some reason the audio seems to be a little challenging, but we will start nonetheless. Thank you very much for your eagerness to hear about the glories of Lord Chaitanya. Right, let's just... Go ahead, start again. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Hare Krishna and welcome again. Thank you very much for your kind presence as we continue our weekly sessions. But today we have a special session. We're going to cover a presentation on the glories of Lord Chaitanya and his wonderful associates. We celebrated Gaura Purnima, 540th anniversary, and we actually did a session. I did a presentation in Pretoria, and they had about 30 new souls from one place that they were doing Food for Life. So they had invited about 30 new souls there. So I had to blend the presentation, and they appreciated the whole presentation. I had to blend the presentation for them, for the new souls. And so the focus was for them, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu loves to see new souls. So that was wonderful. And then I thought for today, I will cover this specific session again, but specifically focusing on those who are practicing Krishna consciousness and try to share the wonderful lessons from a specific pastime that we're going to share related to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let us cover the invocation, Mangalacharan and invocation. Om Jnanatime Vandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshoro Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganargunatham Itam Tam Sadevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitams He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagarpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaskute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vantakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhevacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishvadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Pastatyada Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sarva Shastra Payusha, Sarva Vedika, Sarvala, Sarva Siddhanta Ratnadya, Sarva Lokai Triprada, Sarva Bhagavata Prana, Srimad Bhagavato Prabhu Kalidando Didaditya, Shri Krishna Parivartita, O Srimad Bhagavatam, O nectar churned from the ocean of all Vedic scriptures, O most prominent fruit of all the Vedas, O you are enriched with the jewels of all spiritual philosophical conclusions, O you grant spiritual vision to all the people of the world. O life breath of the Vaishnava devotees, O Lord, O Lord, you are the sun which has arisen to dispel the darkness of Kali Yuga. You are actually Lord Krishna who has returned amongst us. Paramananda Pataya Prema Varshasharayate Sarvada Sarvasavyaya Shri Krishnaya Namaskute. O Srimad Bhagavatam, offer my respectful obeisance unto you. By reading one attains transcendent bliss. For your syllabus and pure love, Gaura Purnima. You always be so by everyone for your incarnation of Lord Krishna. Madekabando mat sangim mad guru mahanmana mad mad madekabando mat sangim mad guru mahadana man nashtaraka mad bhagya madanandana mastute. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O my only friend, O my companion, O my teacher, my great wealth, O my deliverer, O my good fortune, O my bliss, offer respectful obeisance unto you. Sadhu sadhu tadai natini chochatar kahana munchakada chinmam premna hritkatayospura. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O give us saintliness to the unsaintly, O uplifter where fallen. Please don't ever leave me. Please become manifest my heart to my throat. Accompany the love of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Dvaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Dvaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Dvaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are continuing today based on the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this world and propagated the philosophy of Krishna consciousness and the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us the evidence, the authority on which our practice and philosophy is based. And that evidence is Srimad Bhagavatam. So we also know that Bhagavad Gita is the words of Krishna, words spoken by Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is the glories and activities of Krishna. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is the heart of the Supreme Lord, his mind and heart. So in this way, once we study Srimad Bhagavatam, we go through Bhagavad Gita, we study Bhagavad Gita, we practice Bhagavad Gita, then we go to Srimad Bhagavatam, we systematically study Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's what we do every Saturday. And then we go through Chaitanya Charitamrita. In this way, systematically, our Krishna consciousness can evolve by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So we'll recite this beautiful verse. Ajanulambita bhujo kanakavadato sankirtanike pitaro kamalaya Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priya Karo Karunavataro. I offer my respectful obeisances to the two fathers of the Sankirtan movement, whose long arms reach to the knees, who are splendid like gold, whose large eyes are lotus-like, who are the maintainers of the worlds, the best of the Brahmanas, the protectors of Yuga Dharma, the religion for the age, who bring happiness to the people of the world. We have come to this place because they are very merciful. So this is a beautiful verse quoted also by Krishnas Kaviraj Goswami, and glorifying these two brothers, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. They've appeared in this world to bless us. In fact, Srila Prabhupada, in one lecture, Srila Prabhupada said, these two brothers, they have appeared just within our memory. It's like 540 years ago, not too far. Lord Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago, very far. But these two brothers, just around the corner, not too far, within our memory. And therefore, we are blessed to somehow or other be connected to Lord Chaitanya, be connected to these two brothers. It is no ordinary activity. It is no ordinary blessing to somehow or other know about Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda. I remember when I first read about Lord Chaitanya, it was actually in a book, or in Shivananda had different books that he had written. And in one book, he had shared about Lord Chaitanya, but he just said Lord Chaitanya is a great sannyasi, saintly person. That's all. Where Srila Prabhupada, his mission was Gauravani Pracharya, to go across the globe and share the glories, mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And we have so much information about these two brothers. So we know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared in this world in Nadia. There are 5 relationships that one can have with the Supreme Lord. And these 5 relationships are shared in the Vedas. In other traditions, in other scriptures, we have the concept that, yes, you can have a relationship with God, but the relationship goes as far as master-servant. Lord, the Lord is the creator. We are created, we are servants. That's it. But in the Vedic scriptures, in Krishna consciousness, we understand there are 5 relationships. One can have a relationship of neutrality. One can have a relationship of servitorship. One can have a relationship of friend with God. One can have God as a son, be the parents of the Lord. And then one can also have a conjugal relationship with the Supreme Lord. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Navadvip, under a neem tree. That is why he was called Nimai. His mother was Mother Sachi, and his father was Jagannath Mishra. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was beautiful. When he appeared, can you imagine a molten gold? His bodily color was of molten gold, brilliant, effulgent baby. And everyone in Navadvip loved him. The Lord appears in this world for an external reason as well as internal reasons. Externally, the Lord wanted to give pleasure to his devotees and appeared to establish the Yuga Dharma. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is described to be the Yuga Avatar. And as the Yuga Avatar, he came to establish the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. So he descended to this world with his associates, specifically to give us the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also writes, Goloka Premadana Harinam Sankirtan. This chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is descending from the spiritual world. It is not an ordinary sound vibration. It is not an ordinary prayer or song, but it is specifically descending from the spiritual world. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to establish the chanting of Hare Krishna. because that was his mission, he appeared at a time, even though it was full moon, but during the time Lord Mahaprabhu appeared was eclipse. And generally, eclipse is not an auspicious star or natural phenomena. In India, during eclipse, people stay indoor. They observe chanting of Krishna's names to protect them from the negative effects of eclipse. It is not a good practice to look at eclipse. Very often people don't want to attract negative energies, and sometimes when negative situations come into their life, they often ask, why? What did I do? Well, if you look at eclipse, then you are attracting negative energy and negative situations. So it's not a good practice. And in India, during this time, people were aware of this. And therefore, during eclipse, they would go into the Ganges and they all would chant the names of Krishna. And this is when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So as soon as he appeared, he started his mission. In fact, even as a baby, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would be crying very often. And like parents and well-wishers, when a baby is crying, they try to stop the baby by making funny faces, showing toys, different things. But nothing could stop Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The only thing that happened one day, they were trying daily to make Lord Chaitanya stop crying, but he just wasn't stopping. One day, one of the villagers just mentioned Krishna's name. And as soon as they mentioned Krishna's name, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped crying. Instantly, smiling. They were surprised. Oh. So they tried pinching him, make him cry, started crying, and chanted the names of Krishna, and he stopped. And immediately they could understand, that's what makes him stop. So in this way, as a baby, Lord Mahaprabhu started making people chant the names of Krishna because that was his mission. Now we know that 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. And after speaking Bhagavad Gita, the 18th chapter, Lord Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I will deliver from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. That was Krishna's final instructions. Then he went back to the spiritual world. And while in the spiritual world, Krishna was thinking, I've instructed them to surrender. But I did not share how they should surrender. What is the process of surrendering? So I have to go and teach them how to surrender. And therefore, Lord Krishna appears in this world 500 years ago as Lord Chaitanya, as a devotee. Because as a devotee, he can teach practically how to be a devotee. Therefore, if we want to know how to practice Krishna consciousness as a devotee, we simply have to follow the life and teachings of Lord Chaitanya and his associates. And through the Lord's pastimes and through his associates, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has shared the exemplary qualities that we should try to, let's say, follow and try to cultivate. So all the associates of Krishna, they all appeared 500 years ago as devotees of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda. We know that Lord Chaitanya, he is Krishna with the heart and the complexion of Radharani. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to establish the Yuga Dharma. He also appeared because of the calling of Advaita Acharya. And that was the external reason. The internal reason was he wanted to experience what his devotees, and especially his greatest devotee, Srimati Radharani, experiences. What attracts Srimati Radharani? What qualities of Krishna, of himself, is Radharani attracted to? And he wanted to experience that love and share that love. And therefore, he appeared as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Another interesting point is, in the spiritual world, the highest activity, spiritual activity, is rasa dance, rasa lila. Srila Prabhupada said the perfection of chanting Hare Krishna is to enter into the dancing party of Krishna. And that same activity of rasa lila in Gaura Lila, in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, is the Sankitan Yagya, congregational chanting. So when we come together and chant the holy names of Krishna, we should understand this is not an ordinary activity. We should not take it lightly. When we have the opportunity to be in the association of devotees, to chant Hare Krishna and to have kirtan, do not take this activity lightly. It is the most exalted of all transcendental activities. It is the highest activity in the spiritual world. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to benedict this world with congregational chanting. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed many pastimes as he was growing up. And regularly they would go out in the streets and chant the holy name of Krishna. In this age, we worship Lord Chaitanya, we worship Lord Nityananda through chanting Hare Krishna. One day, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told his associates, why are we wasting our nights sleeping? We should chant the holy names of Krishna. His associates were so happy. And they started nocturnal kirtans, chanting whole night. I remember in Hillbrow Temple, when we were there, we would have, like, for example, it would be Gaura Purnima or Radha Astami. And we would celebrate the whole festival. Then the guests would leave. And then around about five devotees that were there in the temple, we would start our festival. Whole night we would have kirtan until Mangalarti and then continue. So we would do this regularly. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did this every night with his associates. Now, we have to appreciate Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates are pure transcendental personalities beyond this material world. They have absolutely zero impurities, no material tinges, no anarthas. So when they were chanting Krishna's names, it was what we call premnam, pure transcendental names infused with loving devotion to Krishna. And because of that, they would experience great transcendental ecstasies. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would experience great transcendental ecstasies. The 8 different ecstasies that are described in Srila Rupa Goswami Nectar Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, would be exhibited. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would be stunned. Sometimes he would jump high and fall to the ground. His body would perspire and tears would flow from his eyes. He would choke. His bodily colors would change. So many ecstatic symptoms. And this kirtan would happen in Srivasangam. Now, as we can see, there were those that were not qualified to enter. Only special souls and fortunate souls were able to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dancing. And there were those that were not qualified because they were atheists. They were not pure enough to enter. But those, because they weren't practicing properly, many of them would criticize the Sankirtan movement. They would criticize Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's kirtans. And they would say, yes, these brahmanas, they've locked the door and they're not allowing us. Why? Because they have women, they have wine, and they're indulging in sense gratification. And therefore, they're not allowing us, because if we go in, we will reveal their truth, their true colors. Therefore, they are stopping us from coming in. And in that period, that time, the Brahmanical culture and the Brahmanas, they were so interested, they were deviating from the practice of devotion. That is why Advaita Acharya also called Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that people are not interested in devotion. And they did not like loud chanting of Krishna's names. So in this way, they were criticizing, and they did not like the idea of not being part of the movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't bother. He carried on with his associates. In different nights, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would perform different pastimes during the kirtan. Very often, he would clear the altar of Srivas. Srivas Thakur had some deities. He would clear the altar and he would then sit on the altar, because he's the Supreme Lord himself. So he would reveal his supremacy. Now, we know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we mentioned, appeared in this world as a devotee, as a Channa avatar, covered incarnation. And even when those who knew he was the Supreme would call him Vishnu, he would block his ears, to teach us that in this world, in Kali Yuga, there would be many that would want to be called God. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's God himself, blocked his ears to show us that should be the standard. Because you cannot be God. God, it's not that living entities become God. The living entities are eternally part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is Swayam Bhagavan, eternally. It's not that God becomes not God, and then not God can become God. No. Krishna and his expansions and expansions of expansions, they all eternally the Supreme. And nobody, at least no living entity, can take that role. Every living entity is actually a servant of Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically came as a devotee. But during these pastimes in Srivas Angam, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would reveal his supreme divinity. One specific pastime, which is called the Mahaprakash Leela. This specific pastime, Maha means great, Prakash means revelation. So a divine revelation. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared and perform this amazing revelation, divine revelation, where for 21 hours he revealed his supremacy as the supreme personality of Godhead. Usually it would, be glimpses, few moments, 1 or 2 hours, or even say less than an hour. But during this one specific occasion, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cleared the altar and sat on the altar. And for 21 hours, he revealed his supreme position as the supreme personality of Godhead. This is called the Mahaprakash Leela. Why did the Lord reveal or perform this pastime? It is explained that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his pastimes are madhurya, are filled with sweetness. This specific pastime is filled with Aishwarya, majesty, opulence. And the reason the Lord revealed this specific pastime of majesty and opulence, Aishwarya, was to solidify the devotees' faith. Now, the devotees that were present, they were all eternal associates. But in the pastime, the Lord was revealing and using them to teach us, for us to strengthen our faith. That the personalities we connected to, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, they are no ordinary personalities. So we should have firm faith that we are blessed and we are fortunate. And we should help others become blessed and fortunate. So this way, the Lord revealed his pastime. And we're going to go through specific pastimes related to the Mahaprakash Leela. Here we'll see many of the associates that were present there. And we're going to share some of the qualities and revelations that they received. During this 21 hours, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed all the different incarnations, because he is the supreme personality of Godhead. And the devotees, they were flooded, drowned in pure love of Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat on the throne, on the asana. And then he instructed the devotees, please sing the song, the prayers during bathing. When there's Abhishek of the Supreme Lord, like when you bathe the deities, etc., then there's devotees would chant Purusha Shukta, different prayers. So immediately the devotees could understand that yes, the Lord is going to exhibit a wonderful pastime. And they started getting Ganges water. They started offering prayers. As they were offering prayers, waters were being brought, and they were bathing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Nityananda was bathing, all the associates were bathing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gallons and gallons of Ganga water was poured upon the Supreme Lord. During different times, and also during this pastime, the Lord noticed that a lot of Ganga water was brought. And one time, the Lord asked, who is bringing the water? And Srivas Thakur had maidservants, and one specific maidservant that was diligently bringing Ganga water at different times when the Lord requested, even when Srivas was doing his puja, then she would bring Ganga water. And during this pastime also, she was enthusiastically bringing Ganga water very diligently and putting them very attentively. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu noticed. And he asked, "Who's that?" And Shrivas said, "My lord, she's one of our maidservants called Duki." And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "No, no, no. Not Duki. Sukhi. Duki means sad one. Sukhi means happy one." So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave her a new name, Sukhi. And just by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu noticing and blessing her, she was filled with pure devotion to Krishna. And all the devotees were so happy. Shrivas understood that this is no maidservant. This is a great devotee that got the blessing even of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the lesson here for us is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was attracted by her service attitude, by how she nicely arranged the water, how she rendered her service. So we also should try our best that when we're doing some service, we should be attentive to the service, to the details of the service, and try to do the service to the best of our ability nicely. This will attract Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's attention, just like Sukhi attracted Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's attention. After they bathed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they wiped Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then began to perform arati, offering different wonderful paraphernalia, chandan, paste, etc. And the Lord accepted the worship. Then the Lord said, "Get me something I want to eat." And the devotees, they started bringing all the different preparations and started offering preparations one after another. Oceans of preparations, mountains of preparations. Dear devotees, understand Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is revealing his majestic, opulent, Aishwarya, supremacy, supreme position as the supreme personality of Godhead. God can eat unlimited offerings. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed this during the pastimes. The devotees brought so much, and no matter how much they brought, it was little. And the Lord kept saying, bring more. It's described there was gallons and gallons and gallons of sweet rice and yogurt and different sweet products, milk products, vegetable products, sabjis, rice, so many preparations. And the Lord consumed them all. The Lord was saying, whatever you offer me, I will honor. This way, the Lord was actually consuming. When we do an offering, naturally we want the Lord to honor, to eat. In this pastime, the Lord was directly honoring and eating. And the devotees were very happy to see. And they could appreciate, they could understand this is no ordinary person, because no ordinary person can eat so much. And here the Lord was just honoring. So the lesson here is that when we do an offering, we should also know that it is not just some motion that we performing. No, there is an exchange of love. in that activity of offering prasad, offering bhoga. Prabhupada, in his Bhaktivedanta purports, very often, regularly, he writes in different places that offering of prasad is a sign of gratitude and a sign of love. So we should also try our best to cook nicely and then to offer nicely. We know that the Lord is not just interested in the ingredients. He's interested in the intention, the sentiments of love of that offering. And in this way, the Lord exhibited this wonderful pastime of honoring so much prasadam. Then the Lord called Shrivas. So one by one, the Lord started revealing to the different devotees that were there. So he called Shrivas. And he said, Shrivas, come here. And the Lord leaned forward to Shrivas. And the Lord told Shrivas, do you remember that night I came to you as a doctor and sat next to your bed? I had cured your fever. Now, Shrivas was ill. He had fever. He was alone. And Shrivas was feeling lonely, thinking he's alone. But yet we see the Lord revealing to him that actually, Shrivas, you were not alone. I was always there. And I came disguised as a doctor. Here we see the Lord manifesting different herbs and a doctor's bag, revealing that it was me that came that night and healed you of your fever. So this is a very wonderful lesson. Krishna, in relation to the Supreme Person of Godhead, Krishna, and we as servants, we offer service to Krishna. Here we see the Supreme Lord Krishna appearing, Lord Chaitanya appearing to his devotee and serving his devotee next to his bedside, unnoticed, unrecognized, curing Shrivas's fever. So we should have firm faith that sometimes we may be ill, sometimes we may be in situations where we feel lonely. We are never alone. The Lord is always there. And Srila Prabhupada in one conversation said that if you chant Hare Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu writes your name in a black book. That means you are noted. In school, they put you in a black book, blacklisted. So Lord Chaitanya has blacklisted you. We could say golden listed you in his book. That means you will never be forgotten. You are tracked by Lord Chaitanya. No matter where you go, what you do, you are tracked. You are never alone. It may seem like that, but you are never alone. And sometimes we don't know who the Lord sends in our life to help us. We may be thinking, oh, it's an ordinary person that came to help us, or it's a doctor that came to help us. And we have no idea that that doctor may be the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, as he appeared to Shrivas. When Shrivas heard this, most of the devotees, when they're getting these revelations, they just faint in ecstasy because they're already in love with Krishna. And now when Krishna is revealing the intimacy, the intimate exchanges, they just, the love just overflows and they just faint in ecstasy. So wonderful lesson. We're never alone. And the Lord is ready to serve his devotees. Then the Lord also revealed to Srivas Thakur that Srivas, you remember when you went to Devananda Pandit? Here we see Devananda Pandit in his courtyard. He was regularly reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srivas Thakur one day came into the assembly because he was in love with Srimad Bhagavatam. And as soon as he came and he started hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, he went in ecstasy. And the servant of Srivas, of Devananda Pandit, could not understand who Srivas was and what he was experiencing. And Shijat Mahaprabhu is explaining this to Srivas. That because they could not understand you, they grabbed you and threw you outside. And Devananda Pandit, because he also could not appreciate and understand you. If he could not understand you, what to talk about his followers? He did not intervene. He allowed them to throw you out. And you were so immersed in loving Krishna, in love of Krishna, that you didn't even know what was going on. You just found yourself outside, and then you return home. And Shri Mahaprabhu continued to tell Srivas. And while you were, and when you came home, you were feeling sad that you could not be in the association devotees to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. And you felt alone, crying, reading, longing to be in association devotees. And Shri Mahaprabhu said at that time, because you were feeling sad, I descended and entered your heart and infused your heart with greater devotion and inspired you to continue to serve by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srivas, when he heard this, he started crying with great ecstasy. So in this lesson again, the Lord is revealing that private devotion is never private. When you are in a room and you are rendering your service alone, apparently alone, when you are crying out of sadness alone, when you are chanting your rounds and nobody apparently is watching, when you're offering your prayers and apparently nobody is around, rest assured that they have been heard by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by Srila Prabhupada, by his eternal associates. And at an opportune time, the Lord and his associates may appear to us to reveal these truths. Then Shri Mahaprabhu called Gangadas. The Lord said, Gangadas, can your mind recall that night when you were escaping from the Muslim king, fearing capture? Shri Mahaprabhu appeared during Muslim rule. Practically the whole of India was ruled by Muslims during Shri Mahaprabhu's times. There were only one or two kings that were ruling, like King Prataparudra was one of them. that had his own kingdom. But otherwise, everybody else was under the Muslim rule. And naturally, the Supreme Lord has his reasons for this, which will be revealed in future. And Ganga Das's family were being chased by the Muslim king and his army. And it was dark in the night and they were running in fear. And they came to the bank of the Ganges. And there was no ferry, there was no boatman. And Ganga Das was lamenting, alas, alas, if we are caught, the Muslims would assault my family right in front of me. We might as well commit suicide and drown ourselves instead of going through that trauma. And then Sri Mahaprabhu said, and you remember, as soon as you were thinking like that, all of a sudden, you saw a boat or a boatman. And then you told the boatman, boatman, can you please, I offer myself, I offer whatever I have to you. Yes, some wealth, please take us across. And the boatman took you across. So Shuchar Mahaprabhu then tells Ganga Das, do you know who that boatman was? It was I. And Ganga Das was so happy to hear this revelation. And he fell at the feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, crying with tears flowing from his eyes in great ecstasy. So here again we see that the Lord's divine protection is always there. We may not know how the Lord protects his devotees. Here Ganga Das, during this episode, he didn't recognize the Supreme Lord. He thought it was an ordinary boatman. When the Lord revealed during this Mahaprakash Leela, then he could understand. In our lives also, there may be so many episodes, and we have no idea how the Lord will intervene and protect his devotees. For those who are sincere, for those who are dedicated, for those who are committed, for those who are chanting the holy names of Krishna, Krishna doesn't take that lightly. And the Lord will make arrangements somehow or other to protect. So divine protection is always there. Yes, we have to have the conviction and the faith. And whatever protection the Lord provides, we should be happy. We may have our own idea of protection. Like in this episode, Ganga Das could also now complain, my Lord, why did you take so long to come? Okay, you were the boatman. Why did you take so long to come? I mean, we had to run through the forest. We had to run for our lives. My family was traumatized, left, right, and center of the impending danger of what could happen. Why did you let us go through those that you could have just, right when they were appearing, you could have come and saved us? No. The devotees don't say that. Why did the Lord allow them to go through that? Because he's the Supreme Lord. And whatever the Lord gives us, whatever situation, that is Krishna's mercy. If we are in a traumatized situation, that is Krishna's mercy. If we are not in a traumatized situation, that is Krishna's mercy. This is how the devotees accepted these revelations and the Lord's mercy. Then the Lord told the devotees, go nearby, and called this devotee Sridhar. His name was Kolavicha Sridhar. Now, Kolavicha Sridhar was a very poor, simple Brahmana. He was selling banana cups, banana products. So there would be banana planting cups, fruits, different things made of bananas. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, understanding and attracted by Sridhar's simplicity and devotion, would regularly, as Nimai, he would go and get some cups. And he would bargain and play with Sridhar. Sometimes he would just take the cups and not pay. And Sridhar, every time he would see Nimai, his heart would be flooded with devotion, with love. He was very simple. So the Lord told the devotees to get Sridhar. So they called Sridhar. When Sridhar came, Sridhar was there. And the Lord revealed to Sridhar and told Sridhar, Sridhar, behold my beauty today. I will bestow you the 8 mystic perfections. And as soon as Sridhar lifted his head and looked at Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu transformed into Krishna, playing his flute. And next to Krishna, he saw Balaram. And he saw Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva offering prayers to Krishna and Balaram. He saw all the associates worshipping Krishna. The Ishtadev of Sridhar was Krishna and Balaram. So the Lord revealed to Sridhar. Sridhar was so happy to see this vision. And the Lord began to glorify Sridhar. In fact, the Lord would have many episodes with Sridhar. The Lord would go and bargain to get some banana cups and banana products. And when Sridhar would, the Lord would say, Sridhar, what are you doing with the money? And Sridhar would say, well, no, Sridhar, the Lord would say, I'm not going to pay you. And then Sridhar would say, but if you don't pay me, then how am I going to worship Mother Ganges? Because Sridhar, he would take, he would sell, and whatever he would get, 50% of that he would offer it to Mother Ganges, and then 50% he would use it for himself and for purchasing more products. So in this way, he would tell Lord Chaitanya, Nimai, that I need to worship Mother Ganges. And Nimai would say, Mother Ganges is coming from me. So if I take the products, then there's no harm. I'm the Supreme Lord. The Ganges is coming, emanating and touching my lotus feet. And Sridhar, he would get upset with Nimai. How can you say that you are the Supreme? Stop this. Because Nimai was a small boy. So in this way, they would have these pastimes. Now, during this revelation, Sridhar would appreciate, Kolavicha Sridhar could appreciate and understand. Actually, what Nimai was saying as a small boy was right. He is the Supreme Lord. So in this way, this revelation of the Supreme Lord, Sridhar was so ecstatic. And the Lord revealed his eternal relationship with Krishna and Balaram. Sridhar, the Lord asked Sridhar, offer prayers. And Sridhar said, I'm a simple Brahman. I don't know prayers. I don't know Sanskrit. And by the mercy of the Lord, Sridhar began to offer eloquent prayers. And he asked Sridhar, ask for any boon, any benediction. And Shira said, my Lord, I don't want anything. Just promise me that every time you appear in this world, I would also appear and eternally have this association with you as Nimai. So in this way, the Lord revealed to Shira. In this pastime, we can appreciate simplicity. Shira was simple. He had devotion and he was simple. And that simplicity attracted Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then the Lord looked at Murari. Murari was a physician. And the Lord looked at Murari and said, Murari, look at me. And as soon as Murari looked at Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he saw his worshipful Lord Ram. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu transformed into Lord Ram, greenish, beautiful form with bow and arrows. And next to Lord Ram was Lakshman, Mother Sita, and the monkeys were there offering prayers. And the Lord told Murari, can you see who you are? And Murari looked and he saw, I'm Hanuman. And that's my worshipful Lord. So in this way, the Lord revealed to Murari that actually he was Hanuman. And his eternal worshipful Lord is Lord Ram. In this beautiful pastime, the Lord is revealing that we all have an eternal relationship, an eternal identity. And yes, Hanuman, Murari, is eternally loyal to Lord Ram. He never forgets Lord Ram. Why did the Lord reveal this pastime? Because previously the Lord told Murari, that you should worship Radha and Krishna. Krishna is the supreme. You should give up Lord Ram and worship Radha and Krishna. And Murari, understanding this Lord's instructions, he wants to abide. He went home. And while at home, he was meditating and trying his best to focus on Radha and Krishna. But no matter how hard he tried, he just couldn't remove Lord Ram and Sita from his heart. He was feeling so disheartened. He was thinking, I'm so fallen, I cannot follow Lord Chaitanya's order. I might as well give up my life tomorrow. The next day, the Lord met Murari. And Murari revealed his heart, my Lord, I cannot follow instruction. I cannot focus on Radha and Krishna. For some reason, my heart just goes to Sita and Ram. And the Lord was so happy. The Lord said, true is that servant that never forsakes his master. And true is that master who never forsakes his servant. And he embraced Murari. That Murari, you are a true servant. And during this pastime, the Lord revealed to Murari that actually that was the reason. Because you are Hanuman. How can you forget Lord Ram? So we all have a spiritual identity. And when we chant the holy name of Krishna, the holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is purifying us of all our impurities and slowly revealing our identity as spiritual beings. The holy name will continue to purify us and reveal the form of our worshipful Lord. The holy name will reveal our relationship, eternal spiritual relationship that we have. It will reveal our activities, our service to the Supreme Lord. It will reveal our family and spiritual identity. So bhakti is is not based on trends and what I like and don't like. Bhakti is really all about our eternal spiritual identity that we have. And as we sincerely practice Krishna consciousness, that revelation will happen, just like in Murari's case, that revelation will happen by the mercy of the holy name of Krishna. Then the Lord called Haridas Thakur. And the Lord started telling Haridas Thakur, you remember, you were been beaten in 22 marketplaces. Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family. And the Lord gave him the title Namacharya. He was chanting the holy names whole day and night. And when the king, Kazi, told Haridas, give up this worship of Hindu god and chanting his names, Haridas said, even if you cut my body in hundreds of pieces, I will not give up chanting God's names. There is only one God, whether you call him Jehovah, Allah, Krishna, Rama, Buddha. So there is only one God. And Haridas never gave up chanting. The punishment was beaten in 22 marketplaces. And by the time you would come to the third marketplace, you would die. Haridas Thakur kept on chanting. He was beaten. In fact, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Haridas, as he was getting beaten, the Lord said, I came with my Sudarshan. I was ready to cut the heads of those executioners. But because of your prayer, my Sudarshan Chakra was helpless. Haridas Thakur was getting beaten and he was praying, my Lord, forgive them. Do not do anything to them. So Haridas Thakur was chanting the names of Krishna. He was getting beaten, but he was worried about the executioners, even though he was beaten. And therefore the Lord could not do anything. And because the Lord Sudarshan Chakra couldn't do anything, the Lord said, then Haridas, because my Sudarshan Chakra was helpless, I covered your back and I took the whipping. And the Lord revealed to Haridas Thakur, showed him the marks. And when Haridas Thakur saw this, that the Lord personally took the beating for that he was meant to receive, he just fell down at the feet of Lord Chaitanya, crying in ecstasy. So a very beautiful pastime, revealing again the Lord's intimate relationship, the intimacy that is there. That when devotees go through suffering, when devotees go through challenges and difficulties, during your trials, you are not abandoned. We have a very intimate and close relationship with the Supreme Lord. He is our Father, so He's always there. While all these pastimes are happening, while the Lord is revealing one by one to all the devotees that were there, the Lord is calling them and revealing different episodes. There was one devotee, Mukunda Datta. He was outside behind the curtain, crying, heartbroken. And inside, Srivas and other devotees they understood he's not there. Mukunda Datta was a very beautiful singer. He would sing for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Srivas went to Lord Chaitanya and said, my Lord, why are you not seeing? Why not? Why not asking Mukunda Datta to come? Please give him blessing. Please give him mercy. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Srivas, do not force me, do not coerce me to give that pretender mercy. He pretends to be a devotee, great devotee, with straw in his teeth, very humble. But actually, he's a pretender. He hears Mayavad philosophy. So I do not want to see him. And when Mukundadatta heard this, he asked Srivas, please ask the Lord, will I ever be able to see him again? And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, you will have to take 10 million births before he can see me again. And when Mukundadatta heard this, he went into ecstasy. He started jumping in ecstasy. I will get. Even though it was 10 million birds, he went into ecstasy. Because at least I will get. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, understanding that outside he was jumping in ecstasy when he heard this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so pleased. He smiled and he started laughing. And he said, call him. And Mukundadatta came and he fell at the feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so attracted by his eagerness that even though it was after 10 million births, for Mukundadatta, that was irrelevant. At least he would get darshan. So what wonderful revelation, wonderful lesson we can learn. That eagerness attracts Krishna's mercy. We should have that eagerness. We should have that longing that one day we will meet the Lord face to face. I want to see that, I want to meet that Lord. When we have that eagerness, we will do whatever it takes to perfect our life, to stay on this path of Krishna consciousness and never give up, no matter what obstacles we may face. So very wonderful lesson and revelation. Then again, another time, the Lord spoke to Srivas and said, Srivas, you should get a job. You have such a huge family. How are you going to maintain yourself? You get a job. Stop this kirtan and chanting. You go get a job. How are you going to maintain yourself? How are you going to maintain your family? And Srivas began to clap 3 times, revealing, day 1, if there is no food, I will fast. Day 2, he claps, if we don't have food, we'll fast. And day 3, there's no food, we will die. But we will never stop kirtan. The Lord was so happy, so pleased with the faith that Srivas Thakur had in the chanting of the holy names of Krishna and glorification of Krishna. And because of that, the Lord, he promised that I will personally maintain my devotees. There was a similar episode before this Mahaprakash Leela, when Lord Nityananda was staying at Srivas's house. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Srivas and said, Srivas, why are you keeping that avatut in your house? We don't know who he is. We don't know his background. Why are you keeping that avatut? Let him go. He's going to spoil your family. Don't keep him in this house. And Srivas, he said, my Lord, don't trick me. I know who you are. I know who Lord Nityananda is. Even if Lord Nityananda goes to a place that is impure, I will never give up the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, he said, Srivas, so much faith in my Lord Nityananda. I promise you that Lakshmi may go begging, but you, Srivas, your house will never know poverty. Srivas, even the dogs and cats in your house will get pure devotion. So the faith that Srivas had in Lord Nityananda, in Kirtan, attracted Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he got the blessings. The Lord called Advaitacharya and said, the Lord would call him Nada, that you remember, it was by your calling. In fact, I was sleeping. I was so happy, sleeping on Sheshanag, and you disturbed my sleep, and you called me with your sincere prayer and offering. The Lord was attracted by Advaitacharya's sincere prayers. He was crying for the Lord to appear and offering Ganga water and Tulsi to the Shalagram Shila. And because of Advaitacharya's sincere praying, calling, the Lord appeared. Then the Lord told Advaitacharya, do you remember when I once fed you one night? At that time, I had not advanced, and you were endeavoring excessively to bring me down. I did not come, I did not descend. And you were holding a Bhagavad Gita discourse. Advaitacharya was having a Bhagavad Gita. And the Lord is telling me, I did not come down, I did not descend, I did not come. And while you were having Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavad Gita, there was a term in the Bhagavad Gita that you could not understand. You could not grasp the full meaning. And you felt depressed, that you could not absorb yourself because you could not understand the specific verse. So you were depressed, and that night you refused to eat because you wanted to know what this verse means. And because you were fasting, I was also fasting. And I didn't like that you were fasting, so I came. And while Advaitacharya was resting, the Lord appeared to him and revealed to him that purport of that verse. And while Advaitacharya was getting the revelation, as soon as he got up, he could understand that this was the mercy of the Lord. And immediately he woke up and did the offering and then ate and offered the Lord. So in this way, the Lord revealed to him that it was him who actually appeared while he was taking rest, gave him the revelations, and together they ate prasad. So this was how the Lord revealed to Advaitacharya. And we so blessed that if we don't need to try to read and understand Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Why? Because Prabhupada has clarified for us all that we need to understand. Prabhupada has given us such extensive purports. Nobody in the history of Gaudiya Vaishnavism has given purports that are so extensive, that are so relevant for the next 10,000 years, in a language that is so accessible for us to understand Krishna consciousness, to understand Krishna, to understand the process of devotional service than what Srila Prabhupada has given. This was Lord Chaitanya's blessing for us. This is how, just as Lord Chaitanya was revealing to Advaita Acharya in his dream, the purports, Prabhupada has revealed to us through them, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has revealed the purports through Srila Prabhupada to us. Then the Lord called Suklambara Brahmachari. He was very poor, but he had devotion. And the Lord one day went and revealed to Suklambara Brahmachari that, you remember, I came to you and I wanted to eat your cooking. And I asked you to go back and get something to eat so that I can eat. The Lord was happy to grab the rice from a torn bag and honor, even though Suklambara Brahmachari was poor, very poor, but he had devotion. And the Lord was greedy for that devotion. The Lord wanted whatever he offered, whatever he cooked, immaterial of his position, his financial status. The Lord was interested in devotion. So the externals is irrelevant. It is the depth of our heart that the Lord is greedy for. Just as the Lord is not impressed with the externals, whether we rich or poor, but the depth of the heart. Similarly, age is irrelevant. And in order to reveal to us that age is irrelevant, status is irrelevant, nobody is big or small, the Lord called Narayani, the daughter of Shrivas, and said, Narayani, she was 4 years old. Oh, Narayani, please chant Krishna's name. And Narayani, she began to chant Krishna's name, and tears of love started flowing from her eyes. Everybody was astounded that she was chanting Krishna's names in pure devotion. So when the Lord empowers, when the Lord blesses, when the Lord notices, nothing is impossible. And everyone is eligible for bhakti. Everyone is eligible for devotional service. Big, small, rich, poor, intelligent, not intelligent. There is no criteria for getting bhakti, for getting devotion, for serving the Lord. We simply have to be sincere and do our best. And the Lord will do the rest. So in this way, 21 hours, the Lord was revealing to all the different devotees. The Lord was revealing to Haridas Thakur that you are Lord Brahma. The Lord was revealing to Murari Gupta that you are Hanuman. The Lord was revealing to the different associates that they were all friends and associates of Lord Krishna. It wasn't just a random exercise, but a wonderful revelation that the Lord was revealing to all the associates their eternal identity. Every single one of us are unique. in our spiritual identity with Krishna. And every single one of us, Krishna is eager, waiting for our unique offering to him. We need to be eager as the Supreme Lord is eager. Prabhupada writes that Krishna is more eager to get us back home than we are eager to go home. So we should keep this revelation, this Mahaprakash Leela. The Lord is trying to instill faith in us, that he is the Supreme, and that we all have a relationship. And we should be eager one day for that revelation of our own identity. The Lord is revealing through this 21 hours the struggles that the devotees went through, the prayers that were offering, the sincerity, the challenges that they were going through, their desires, their wishes. The Lord was revealing through this Mahaprakash Leela that he knew everything. And that not only did he know everything, but that he remembered, he was remembering, and that he was always there. He will always be there. The Lord will never forsake his devotees. We should always have that firm faith. The Lord is always there and will always be there. In this way, the Mahaprakash Leela is concluded. The devotees were completely filled with pure devotion, and their hearts were filled with love as the Lord revealed his majestic opulence, that he is no other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And the Mahaprakash Leela ends. Srila Prabhupada tells us that if you sacrifice sense gratification for spreading Krishna consciousness, this is the only sacrifice. We should give up sense gratification of this material world in order to get spiritual sense gratification. Prabhupada continues, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will personally come and cover any inadequacies you have and take you back home. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be eager to follow Prabhupada, to try to fulfill Prabhupada's desire and wishes. So we have so much mercy, so much service, and so many blessings. We simply have to try, do our best, try to give up as much sense gratification, try to do as much service. Please, Lord Chaitanya, please, Srila Prabhupada, and they will do the rest, take us back home, back to Godhead. In conclusion, I like to play this wonderful excerpt from Prabhupada's lecture, October 20th, 1968. Because Lochandas Thakur, he prays, Parama Karuna Pohidui Janani Tai Gaura Chandra Sabavatara Sarasiro Mani Kevala Ananda Kanda. These two brothers, they are very merciful and most munificent, most magnificent. And they have come to give us a process, Kevala Ananda, just wonderful process. And Prabhupada talks about this process.
Chant and dance and eat. What do you want more? Simply chanting, dancing and eating nice sweet balls, kachori. The Susukha. And Kottum Abbayam, while performing, while practicing this process, it is very pleasant. And Abbayam means whatever you do, even if you execute 1% of this movement, That is your permanent asset. Permanent asset. If you do 2%, 3%, 4%, but don't wait for next time. Finish 10%.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, 10%. Don't wait. But even whatever percent you can do is going to go to your eternal credit. And simply chant, dance, and eat. This is the process. This is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda. They have come to give us a process that is universal, that is so pleasurable. Chant, dance, feast, take rest when you're tired, have little philosophy. Such a beautiful process we have been given. Let us embrace it sincerely, wholeheartedly, and let us share this process. This is the process that will save humanity. It is susukham, it is blissful, it is so wonderful. Anyone can do it, and it is joyous. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Purnima Muhammad sir ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bol. All right, thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments anyone has? I will allow you to unmute. If you want to unmute and share, you're most welcome to unmute and share. Or if you have any questions, you're most welcome to also just type in the chat. Yes, Ray Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for a wonderful class. I'm just interested to know, what was the reason Lord Chaitanya had taken sannyasi? And, I think that's important that I'd like to just you to talk about a little more. Him descending, I'm excited about it, but I think I'd also just like you to talk about, the reason of him taking sannyasi. Thank you.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you very much, Ray Prabhu, for that question. Why did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu take sannyas? So before I explain that, Srila Prabhupada says that our worship, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has gone through different phases. For example, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a student, Nimai Pandit, then he was a Grihastha, and then he took sannyas. So for us, our worshipful Lord as Lord Chaitanya is Lord Chaitanya as Grihastha. Lord Chaitanya in the spiritual world is in that role as Grihastha. Now, why did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu take sannyas? He had beautiful wife, family, he had everything. Why did he take sannyas? Because the Lord did not want anyone to escape his mercy. There were the Brahmanas. During that time, there were those that would respect sannyasis, and they wouldn't necessarily take to devotion, but they definitely would respect a sannyasi. Just like in our culture, in Vedic and Krishna conscious also, even a Mayavadi sannyasi, we offer respects to the sannyasi. Why? Because scripture says we should pay respect to that order, even if they're Mayavadis. We don't associate with the Mayavadi, we don't accept the Mayavadi, we don't accept the philosophy, but the order we honor. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas because those that were scholarly, they would not take to this chanting and dancing. They thought it's too sentimental. Why are you chanting and dancing? It's too sentimental, man. Study the Vedas. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, sacrificed his grihastha, sacrificed the devotees' heart-longing, cherished association with Lord Chaitanya as a grihastha. He took sannyas, he traveled as a sannyasi, he met the Mayavadi sannyasis, he met the Buddhists, and he gave them mercy, he gave them pure love of Krishna. They all became devotees. So the Lord did not want to miss anyone. everyone had to get the mercy. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he couldn't go to different places. So then he called Lord Nityananda. And he said, Nitai, you need to go to Bengal and liberate the whole of Bengal. You should get married and liberate the whole of Bengal. So in this way, Nitai also went and liberated the whole of Bengal. So why did Lord Chaitanya take sannyas? Because he wanted to give his mercy to everyone. Nobody had to escape the mercy. Okay, the Mayavadis, the Buddhists, the Pandits, the scholarly, everyone, and they all became devotees of Krishna. Prakasana Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He became, in fact, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was like an staunch impersonalist. He became so infused with Krishna bhakti that he became allergic to the word mukti. He didn't like the word mukti after he became convinced by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He only wanted bhakti, bhakti, bhakti. He didn't want to listen to the word mukti. So yes, and this is the reason. All right. Any other questions? Rasarat says, Sangita says, thank you very much for the class. Was so enlightening. Only a pleasure. Lalita Saki says, thank you for the enlightening class. Rasarat, thank you for the elaborate explanation, Mahaprakash Leela, and sharing 12 important lessons that I've noted. Only a pleasure. Yes, we need to, that the Lord was revealing the Mahaprakash Leela, not only for these devotees, but actually for all generations coming in the future, including us. And by the mercy of Prabhupada, we now have those revelations, those lessons. We should not forget them. We need to keep them dear to us. If we think we're lonely, we think nobody's concerned, we think the Lord is not there, he's not doing anything, we have no idea how the Lord is making so many arrangements. I urge every one of you to just reflect back in your life and just pause and try to analyze. And you will see in so many episodes, in so many situations, in so many situations, the Lord is intervening. The Lord was intervening. The Lord will intervene. So many episodes. I regularly do that as a reflection to remind myself that yes, the Lord's been there in so many episodes. In danger, the Lord has been there. I remember we were going on Sankirtan when I was managing the Hillbrow Temple. We would go on Sankirtan to different places, and we were going to Sakunda. We would drive many places, so we would, stay at Donor's place and then cover, place to place. So we're going to Sakunda, and we were traveling from Sakunda to another place. So I was driving. Madri was sitting on the passenger side, and those days we had a cassette player. If you still remember, cassette player. So I was driving. It was a single lane, both ways, and Madri was trying to put the cassette in so that we could have kirtan. And for some reason, the cassette player was jamming or not, working. So I was driving, and I decided to try to help put the cassette in or do, but my attention for that split second went to the cassette issue. And during that split second, even though it was just a split second, I didn't notice, I wasn't aware that because my left hand went to the cassette player, my right hand slowly tilted and the car swerved off the road onto the gravel. And in a moment, I came back, my attention went back, And as soon as my attention went back on the road, I noticed that I was not on the road. I was on the gravel. And instantly I reacted, which I shouldn't, but nature takes its course. And I reacted. And what did I do? I turned the steering wheel sharp to get back onto the road, which I shouldn't have done. But naturally, I reacted. So when I reacted and I turned the steering wheel too sharp to get back onto the road, the car, and I must have been going, maybe like whatever the speed limit was, 80, 100, 100, whatever speed limit was. But because I swerved too sharp, the car spun. And normally the car is going, let's say, at a certain speed facing the normal direction. When the car spun, it went with that momentum reversed. So now I'm facing the opposite direction, car is going backwards, and therefore I don't know the oncoming traffic. I had no clue about the oncoming traffic. The car swerved past the other side and then went on the other gravel side, through like a bush, and then just stopped. Naturally, we were chanting, praying during that episode, and the car just stopped. And then I looked behind. And what we saw, there was a pole. And the car just stopped. An inch from the pole, dead center. Otherwise, it would have split. There would have been disaster. So, yes, accidents happen, negligence happen, inattention happen. That's why we should be attentive when we chant, when we are driving. Don't drive and chant. It's inattentive. So, don't do anything else during driving. Focus on one service at a time. But that showed me how Krishna protected us. That we could have been in great danger and difficulty and life-threatening situation, but the Lord protected. So like that, so many episodes. The Lord will always be there. Mother Lash, Hare Krishna, thank you for beautiful Chaitanya Katha, such incredible illustrations. What a feast for the eyes, mind and heart. Yes. Thank you again for sharing this amazing pastime. I never heard it presented so clearly with such inspirational revelation. Years to more and more chanting, dancing, eating for everyone, please. Yes. Repo, Hare Krishna, your lesson 4 about the Duki service, please talk a little more about Duki. So Duki was a maidservant. She was doing her service in the house of Srivas. And naturally, being a maidservant in the house of a devotee is glorious. Because what they get? Prasad. They get to serve the Lord. Indirectly, they're doing the service. Now, that's how Srivas saw Duki. But that's not how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Duki. The Lord did not see, oh, you're a maidservant. You're doing some maidservant service. No. The Lord saw her sincerity, her attention to detail, her devotion, her diligent heart service, dedicated service of just bringing Ganga water. And that attracted Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy and said, no more Duki, only Sukhi. And when the devotees saw how the Lord saw Sukhi, not as a maidservant, but as a servant, then their attitude also changed. They didn't just see maidservants. They saw those who had received the blessing of the Lord. Anyone that receives the blessings of the Lord are no ordinary souls. So this is how we should also not take, if somebody is engaged in any devotional service in any form or shape, we should not treat them in any lower form of respect. We should respect everyone. because they somehow or other rendering great service, even unknowingly. That is why Lord Jagannath is very special, because Lord Jagannath, he gets everyone to be engaged in his service. The policemen, the government, the cleaners, the vegetable, everyone gets engaged. No ordinary people. They are noted by Lord Jagannath. Thank you very much for everyone's attention, questions, and we hope that Srila Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, and all the associates, Srila Prabhupada, and all his followers keep blessing you and shower, yes, and also King Parata, the kings also, King Prataparudra was also engaged. And Srila Mahaprabhu gave him so much mercy. So we wish that all of you get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda. Please try to understand what we have, the greatest gift. I'll conclude with this. Let me see if I can quickly find that, a beautiful statement by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj in relation to benefits. We all rendering some sort of service, some offering. People are rendering so much welfare work, service of different types. But Srila Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj, he very wonderfully writes. Let's see. I can find. All right, so I'll just paraphrase it. Srila Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj says that people are offering different benefits in different ways to souls in this world. But those benefits are actually just deceptions. The real benefit to humanity, to all living entities, is the benefit of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. The gift and the benefit that they have come to give, this is the true benefit, the real gift, the real welfare work that is blessing this planet. So we, by some good fortune, have been connected to Srila Prabhupada, connected to this greatest welfare work. Let us embrace this welfare work for ourselves, the gifts for ourselves. Let us take the full benefit that is there to be offered, and then let us dedicate our life to sharing these gifts to the rest of those that we come in contact with. In whatever little way or big way we can do, let us do this. In this way, we will be blessed, they will be blessed, and collectively, we all will be blessed. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Purnima, Hari 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 Bo.